Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news. It's Mondays with Mallory with KTIK 95.3 FM The Ticket's John Mallory. Listen to Idaho Sports Talk with Prater in the Ballgame weekdays from 3 to 6 on 95.3 FM The Ticket and online at KTIK.com. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, here's Johnny Ballgame and B.J. Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing? Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Boise State fans, Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com, coming to you from the Cutwater Studios here in Meridian. We appreciate John Mallory is filling in for Jay Tuss today. So it said Monday, it's Friday. But double dose, Johnny. Appreciate you coming on again this week, on the second day this week, as we continue our countdown. We're down to number 6. Dan Patrick is making headlines. We'll talk about him as well. But always good to see you on a Friday, man. How's it going?
Thanks for having me. I feel like Jay Tuss. I just wish I looked a little more like Jay Tuss, BJ. Congratulations to Jay and everything, but no problem coming off the bench today on a Friday, helping you. It's been a short week, being 4th of July on Tuesday. And, there's some news flying out there I'm excited to share my opinions on, for sure.
What size is your shirt?
Large.
Okay. If you wanted to look like Jay Tuss, you need to get like a small or something, just
Okay.
put the arms in there a little bit better. But no, man, appreciate you coming on. And during the month of August, I think as well, when Jay, or maybe July, but over the next couple of weeks, you and Prater, I think, will be helping pick up some of the shows from Jay as he takes a couple of weeks to be with his wife and family. But excited to get going. Our first big announcement, Johnny, you will be a part of it with me on Monday. And I would say this is third out of the 3 announcements, so I don't want to like hype it up and people hear the announcement Monday and then think the other ones are going to be, not as big. But so we'll start with the lowest announcement and then get bigger as we go. But our first cool announcement about some coverage plans for Bronco Nation News will happen on Monday during the show at 9 a.m. You won't want to miss that. And then the week of July 17th, the week of Mountain West Media Days, we will make 2 very big announcements that I'm very excited about as Bronco Nation News. As we take this thing to the next level, man, getting ready for Mountain West Media Days, fall camp, and then obviously football and basketball season. So I joked about Dan Patrick. By the way, it might be a little bit shorter show today. My son has 2 baseball games today, the Meridian All-Stars.
Nice.
He's got the state tournament, day 2 of the state tournament today. Naismith is actually the starting pitcher in the second game today at 3:30. So
what'd you cook for breakfast? Pitchers always got to have a special breakfast, BJ. What was his?
He had 3 mini sausage biscuits.
Okay. There we go.
He's ready to go. Yeah, he's ready to go. But he's got another game first. So I told him to take it easy. Don't throw too much in the first game. You got to pace him, get him ready, and then he'll start gearing it up and be ready to go. But, kind of a cool you hit these different milestones as parents, and I'm sure JP's been there, but kind of once they get into the athletic competition, when they're at your house, you can control them, tell them what to do. It's all this stuff. But when he gets out there on the pitching mound, you're kind of out of it. So it's a little nerve-wracking feeling for me watching him pitch. And we've made some changes. Shout out Justin Schultz, his pitching coach, our friend, the softball coach at Boise State, has given him a couple lessons, Johnny. And he's made some changes to his pitching mechanics, and the kid can throw a little heat. We just got to see if we can throw strikes with it, and we'll see today. So I'm nervously excited to see if some of his changes pan out in the state tournament. But so we'll end the show a couple minutes early today, which I say every week, and then it never happens.
Never happens.
But I am going to try to be out of here a couple minutes early. Robbie Robinson is joining us today, which is fitting because we're going to talk about Rodney Robinson, the number 6 player on our list. And by the way, Johnny, I know you and Dennis, man, you got some bromance going on there. I know you're a big fan of Dennis in his comments.
Yeah, Denny's a good guy. He's loyal to you, and I can't say that about everybody. So Denny actually is.
He says, looking forward to number 6. Good morning to you guys. Very thankful for all of you. Yeah, Dennis, we appreciate it. We'll take your comments, your questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. If you're watching over on Facebook or Twitter, we ask that you slide over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 3,000 by the start of fall camp. Help us do that. And then that's the easiest way to interact and chat with people during the show. If you're watching on Twitter, we cannot take your Twitter questions. The program does not allow it. I don't see your comments on Twitter, so I can't play them. So if you want to make sure your comments get on the air, you need to do that on YouTube. Jordan Morales giving us a heads up on the announcements. Love JD, but his cryptic tweets are tough to track sometimes. Jordan also says he followed BNN on Threads this morning. Are you on Threads yet, Johnny?
Yeah, I am. You?
My lovely wife, Karen Rains, did get the Threads account going for Bronco Nation News. I'm still trying to figure out what it is exactly. But yeah, if you are on Threads, make sure you follow Bronco Nation News. And John Mallory, I guess, as well. What's your handle on there?
Johnny Ballgame _ KTIK.
Okay. Johnny Ballgame _ KTIK on Threads. Bronco Nation News. I think it's just Bronco Nation News on Threads. Make sure you do that as well. I'm still hoping the demise of Twitter was overblown. I hope I like Twitter better. I hope it sticks around, but we'll see moving forward here. But Dan Patrick, Johnny, in the news. I never thought we'd be talking Dan Patrick, yesterday at probably 5-6 o'clock, and all of a sudden he comes through with a tweet last night about some expansion news. And we'll get to Dan Patrick's tweet about Boise State and the Pac-12 in just a second. But first, do want to remind folks we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick yours up at your local gas station or grocery store. Rowpaint.com. The one-day install on those concrete coatings. Check them out. They'll give you a free estimate, walk you through the process. 5 times stronger than epoxy. They can do it in one day. Highly recommend it. ROEpaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise, the anniversary sale is going on as well. Check them out. Their deals are at an all-time low in the summer right now. Do what the Rains family did. Purchase an F-150 from our friends at Lithia. They got the Bronco Sport, the deals there as well. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com, to view their full inventory of vehicles. Idaho Central Credit Union, Johnny, they got episode 3 of the Tyson Degenhart Show coming up on Tuesday next week. Excited to announce the guest. I can announce it, but it's going to be an awesome guest. Looking forward to that. And thanks again to our friends at Idaho Central Credit Union. And Johnny, next Sunday, I don't know if you have any plans, but next Sunday, folks can head out to Lean Feast in Meridian and meet Talon Green. Talon Green will be out at Lean Feast. He has an NIL deal with them. If you want to meet Talon Green, you go out there, you buy a meal, and then you can get a picture and an autograph with Talon Green. It's a pretty cool deal. Next Sunday, it'll be from 12 until 2. 12 to 2 next Sunday, July 16th at Lean Feast in Meridian. Perfect time to check them out. Go purchase a meal from them, get lunch for the family, and then get to hang out with Talon Green. And I believe, Johnny, Talon's actually going to be, for part of it, the time behind the counter, making your meal. So you can go buy a meal and have Talon Green make your lunch, and then you can get an autograph and a picture with them. Leanfeast.com/Meridian. Highly recommend them for food prep service if you're looking for a healthy meal option. And again, next Sunday, Johnny, you can go meet Talon Green. So that should be fun and exciting. Okay, Dan Patrick, he put out a tweet talking about San Diego State still is likely going to the Pac-12. And I should preface this, Johnny, by saying that he's had some tweets in the past that weren't 100% accurate when it came to expansion. So we'll see, but he's obviously very well connected. Has almost 500,000 followers on Twitter. Sources say San Diego State is still planning on joining the Pac-12. Conference also is hoping to add SMU, with Boise State and UNLV being long shot possibilities. Your thoughts when you first saw this tweet?
Well, a couple of things. Yes, Dan Patrick on, I think it was November 7th, essentially broke the story that San Diego State was going to the Pac-12. That was November 7th. It's July 7th right now, BJ. And I'm still waiting for San Diego State to be in the Pac-12. Dan Patrick broke that in November. It hasn't really happened. Not to say that it won't, but it hasn't. Here's the other thing. Dan Patrick's on vacation this week, man. He's not even doing his show. None of his guys are. He's out. He's not back till July 10th. I pay attention to DP. So he's tweeting from wherever he is on vacation, breaking Mountain West news. And the tweet I saw was from the Dan Patrick Show account. It was not Dan Patrick, right? It was his show's Twitter account.
That's his account.
That's the one that he always uses?
I believe so, yes.
Maybe it is. But so he's tweeting wherever he is on vacation.
The vacation thing, that doesn't bother me. Someone sends you a tip. Someone sends you a text. I mean, you get the info, you get the info. I wouldn't put – just because he's on vacation and not sitting at his desk, I'm not going to say that.
I don't know. It's kind of odd to me. But, yeah, maybe so. Maybe it wouldn't matter. But I don't know. I don't know how much you can believe that. If it happens, great. But I'm taking it with a big grain of salt for now. It is nice, I guess, for Boise State fan to even get mentioned again.
Sure.
Typically, they're not even in that discussion anymore. But a member of the Pac-12, BJ, Dan Patrick told us it was going to happen in early November, and we're still kind of waiting there. But you never know.
I would say that at least to give Boise State fans a glimmer of hope, they've really heard their name, nothing, no rumors, no nothing the last couple of months. All these lists go down the line, and they're talking about Colorado State and all these other teams, and Boise State really has not been mentioned, Johnny, at all in the recent rounds of rumors with expansion. So at least to give the fans a glimmer of hope that maybe there is still some chance. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. But I do agree with you that, it says with Boise State and UNLV being long shot possibilities. So he's not reporting they're going to the Pac-12, not reporting they're in discussions, they're even close, just says they're long shot possibilities. What would you make if the Pac-12 added San Diego State and SMU and then also added Boise State and UNLV?
So that would that'd be 14 teams. Are you suggesting that they had 4?
What do they have now? Because they're losing USC and UCLA. Does that put them at 10? So they'd go to 14, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would go to 14. I don't think that's logical because you have to convince the other 10 schools that they're still going to get more money from the media rights deal if you're bringing 4 teams in. A lot of times, BJ, they don't want to cut the pie into that many pieces, right? If you're the Big Ten or the SEC where the money and the revenue is looking like $100 million per team per year, I don't think it matters as much as the difference in the Pac-12, where maybe it's a deal that's going to give them $27 million a year, maybe $22 million. I don't know what the difference would be on that, BJ, but if it works, great. If the Pac-12 wants to be, get up there and think that they need the 14-team conference to really be considered a major player here, then absolutely go for it. If the TV revenue, if the network execs think, hey, we'll give you more money, Pac-12 teams, if we get Houston, Boise, Vegas, and San Diego markets, that's going to make everybody richer. If that's the case, and they know that more than I do, then heck yeah, add as many teams as you need to increase that TV money and get into more markets. But we've just been told a long time now that Boise just isn't an attractive market that anybody's going to have interest in. Now, I don't know. SMU, the whole Dallas thing, great. I don't think Dallas TVs people are going to flock to Pac-12 games in Dallas, but hey, I guess it's nice to have the market. Vegas on the come up, BJ. We all know a little bit about that. And San Diego, I believe right now is market 28 or something. So that is a good TV market.
And I think the whole goal we all know of them adding San Diego State is to try to get the LA area, the Southern California area, not just San Diego. Yeah, we'll see. But like I said, I wouldn't say it's likely. I wouldn't say it's even, close to 50-50. But I just think from Boise State perspective, Johnny, they've heard nothing lately. So maybe this gets the fans a little excited a little bit. And
I'd like to see who that source is, BJ. You know?
John Mallory's not buying Dan Patrick here. Must be on a different local radio station in town. We got some beef here with Johnny Ballgame. No,
I think talked about it today on the show.
You said he's not on this week.
No, but whoever's filling in,
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I couldn't even tell you what station in town that was.
Yeah, he's still working. Apparently, he is on vacation this week, but he's keeping everybody in the know on this.
I would just say. I mean, we all probably agree with the first part, right? I mean, I think we still think San Diego State's probably going to end up there, but who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Just wanted to get it out there and mention it and bring it up. I wouldn't put a ton of stock into it either, Johnny, to be honest, but at least it gives some glimmer of hope maybe for Boise State fans that maybe something down the road could still happen. We'll see. But yeah, as Nathaniel says, question is, will the Pac still be big on their academic standing requirements? I don't know where UNLV and some of those schools would fit in on the academic side of things. But you know, you and me are on the same page. I think we both think UNLV is a player in expansion. I think that they're a sleeping giant, I think, in terms of now the sports leagues are getting down to Vegas. I think that if you're just taking UNLV on merit, there's no way you'd take them. But if you just take them based on getting into the Las Vegas market and what's going on there. So we'll see. And just stay tuned to Twitter, I guess. And I don't know if you saw Mark Ziegler's newest article last night. Apparently, the original letter that was sent that everyone is saying was a mistake by San Diego State, the formal, thing to say that we're thinking about leaving, that stemmed, I guess, from a board of directors meeting in Hawaii in June, which Jeremiah Dickey was a part of. Marlene Trump was a part of. They had the Mountain West meetings in Hawaii, and apparently in front of a closed private session with all the presidents and Gloria Nevarez, that's when the San Diego State president informed them of their plans to leave. And then somehow they said something about we need that in writing or put that in writing. And then they sent them the letter. And if you read the letter, it says at the beginning, as we discussed at the June board meeting, we're letting you know we're doing this or thinking of doing this. And that's kind of where it all backfired on San Diego State, I guess. They told them in confidence in person, and then they were able to sorry, my son's getting picked up and they're out front, so we need to get my son out of here. The joys of parenting. But what do you think about that the San Diego State told them in private? Mountain West says, hey, we need that in writing, and then they put it in writing, and now they may have screwed themselves a little bit. So very curious, I guess, what comes out of that. And then also they're tired of it leaking. Now, these are public records so in a lot of cases, Johnny, but there was some emails going back and forth. I saw that I think it was On 3 Sports did some public records requests. And there's some requests from the presidents to not forward these emails and letters to the athletic directors because maybe there's less of a chance it will leak out. A lot of these letters leaking out, the Pete Thamels, Brett McMurphys, all these reporters are getting all these letters and all this back channeling dialogue. And I guess the San Diego State president didn't like that this went public. So they're requesting that they not, share this with anybody. Very, very interesting, the behind the scenes dynamics here of all this.
This is like on any other exit that I can remember seeing in a conference, in a major collegiate conference, BJ, where you have this back and forth. Usually, no one's happy. The conference is rarely happy when a team wants to leave, but in many cases, it doesn't get as nasty as I think this is getting right now. And maybe it will even continue to get a little uglier if, in fact, the Pac-12 just doesn't call San Diego State. And I think you and my partner, Mike Prater, were talking about it a little bit yesterday. I'll ask you, it doesn't feel like a sure thing anymore. 3 weeks ago, San Diego State to the Pac-12, to me, BJ, felt like a sure thing. And now I think it's still going to happen, but I don't think it's of certainty anymore. So if that does happen, the Pac-12 not calling San Diego State for the invite, and San Diego State tail between their legs does have to come back here, then I think this can turn a little nastier if the Mountain West says, wait, we're not just going to let you back in without any penalty here.
If that happens, I wonder if San Diego, if the Big 12 pivots and tries to get San Diego State, because they're trying to get into the Pacific time zone. They're trying to increase their basketball league. You know, they're talking to Gonzaga. Obviously, San Diego State would bring a lot to the basketball side.
Yeah.
You get that fourth time zone. He says he truly wants to be a national coast-to-coast conference. So I wonder if the Big 12 would maybe be a fallback option for San Diego State if that were to happen. I agree with you, because as we said last week on the show when I joined you guys on Idaho Sports Talk, for San Diego State to send the letter and say we're not leaving, we're staying, they obviously heard something from the Pac-12 to make them say that. So whether they said, hey, we're cooling on you, we're not getting the money we want, the other presidents don't want you, I don't know the reason, but it makes you wonder what's going on behind the scenes if they still were willing to say we're staying and we're, for at least the next 2 years, in terms of the exit fee and all that. So
yeah, and smart move again by Gloria Navarez in the Mountain West, saying to San Diego State, okay, we get you, we're here at the meeting, but we're going to go ahead and ask you to bring that to us in writing. There needs to be formality on this. We need this in writing. San Diego State gave them the letter in writing, kind of tippy-toeing, saying that they intend to leave the conference, right, BJ? The Mountain West didn't take it that way, though. But again, good for them covering their bases, now having it in writing. It could have got a little squirrely. I'll steal a Prater reference there. Had there not been these formal letters back and forth, could have been a different issue there, BJ. And San Diego State, which I think what part of this was San Diego State wanting their $6.6 million check.
Sure.
But the Mountain West did not send them. I think that was part of this too. San Diego State really getting kind of screwed over at every single turn, it seems like, in this story. I don't know when
a lot of it's on their own doing. A lot of it's their own doing. They went to the Mountain West and said, it's all they're doing. They said they wanted to leave. We're planning to leave. I mean, they'd be getting their money if they hadn't said anything to this point. So It is what it is. Hey, in the final couple minutes, I want to touch on our number 6 player in the countdown of the 25 most important players. But first, I want to tell you about the blueandorangestore.com. They got free shipping, any order over $40. If you're looking for some new Boise State gear, perfect place. All the new Nike, the coaches' sideline apparel, the polos, the NIL shirts. Check them out, the blueandorangestore.com. And if you're in the Boise area, the Boise Town Square Mall, they're on the second floor. You can go check them out in person. Boucher Real Estate, the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Boucher. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Check them out, BoucherRealEstate.com. You can give them a call as well, 243-8222. And our friends at Ridley's Family Markets remind you to go download their app. The new Ridley's app has exclusive savings up to 40% off. They have 13 Idaho locations, many more around the Northwest, including that Kuna location that I frequent often. So check them out, shopridleys.com. And Johnny, the contest is coming. I'm still trying to convince you and Prater. We can all sign up when we're down there in 2 weeks. Circa Resort and Casino, $1,000 entry fee. Get some friends together. I know it's a steep price. $8 million guaranteed in the contest. So make sure you check them out. $8 million is the guarantee in the Survivor, $6 million in the Circa Millions, $14 million guaranteed in prizes. And you have to sign up in Vegas, but you can play from anywhere. So heck, hook up, talk to Johnny. Maybe he'll sign you up when he's down there for you in a couple of weeks for media days. Looking forward to it. And thanks again to our partnership with Circa Resort and Casino. Number 6 on our list, Johnny, we mentioned him briefly yesterday when I was talking to Mike Prater, because we mentioned Shea Oladipo as one of our guys yesterday. You and I talked about Alexander Tubner, a couple previous shows. Rodney Robinson comes in at number 6. California native, 5'8", 185, the safety. Redshirt junior this year, had 13 starts last year. Was 5th on the team in tackles, Johnny. I mean, this is a guy that I think you look at Robinson, Oladipo, Tubner, some of these guys, in terms of their importance to the team. I went Robinson ahead of all of them at number 6 because he's the only returning starter of the group. Started 13 of 14 games last year. He's a veteran. He was 5th on the team in tackles. I mean, yes, you're asking Oladipo to step up and replace a guy like Tyreek Jones. Yes, you're asking Tubner to come in and step up and replace a guy like J.L. Skinner. Those guys have very tough jobs ahead of them. But the one mainstay, the guy, the returning starter, the veteran, the leader, is Rodney Robinson, and that's why I've got him higher on this list.
I don't think there's a Boise State player being more disrespected in the off seasons in terms of the magazines and the predictions than Rodney Robinson. He's not on any of them. And it's kind of odd to be a Boise State returning playmaker like Rodney Robinson is and not get any off-season attention. That's just how big, literally, I guess, and figuratively, J.L. Skinner was, right? And Tyreek Jones also in Tennessee right now, trying to make the Titans in the NFL. Phil Steele had him on our show this week. He does 4 preseason teams. BJ, Rodney Robinson isn't on one of them. He has 8 safeties listed for his preseason. Watch out for these Mountain West safeties. Rodney Robinson is not on there for a returning starter. I would take that. I think that's a little disrespectful. Maybe it is because he's smaller. The playmaking, the stats are there. He had 3 picks last year too, BJ. Yep. One of the leaders returning in this league in interceptions last year. If I'm Rodney Robinson, I'm using that as a big chip on my shoulder there. I was kind of surprised, BJ, to see Rodney Robinson not getting a lot of preseason love. Hopefully, though, by the end of the season, he'll get that postseason love because the Broncos, no question, BJ, they're going to need Rodney Robinson to have a better year than he had last year, and I think he's prone to do that this year.
He had 7 tackles in the Mountain West Championship game against Fresno State, had 6 tackles in the bowl game, including a tackle for loss, pass breakup against North Texas. So he finished the season strong. And as I said, Johnny was 5th on the team in tackles. But you look at the guys ahead of him, 3 of them are gone. He's the number 2 leading returning tackler behind DJ Schramm on this team. So in terms of tackles and what you have coming back, veteran experience on that defense, he's one of your veteran leaders coming back. And again, one of your most productive playmakers in terms of tackles and interceptions, like you said. So Rodney Robinson, so it sounds like you're okay. You're okay with him being ahead of those other guys. I mean, you may say maybe you could argue one of those guys' jobs are more important because they're replacing NFL caliber players, but I've got Rodney Robinson kind of keeping that group together, leading the group, helping those guys that are moving into starting roles come on. And Rodney's a fun guy to talk to also. We always enjoy chatting with him, talking with him, and always enjoy Rodney Robinson. And again, he comes in at number 6 on our list. We have 5 guys left, Johnny, and I was talking to Prater about this yesterday. We will take the submissions on social media. If you want to tell us the order now in the chat, we will do that. But we got 5 players left, and it's Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, Cade Beresford, George Halani, and DJ Schramm are the 5 players. Beresford, Genty, Schramm, Halani, and Green. You have till Monday morning to vote your order from 5 down to 1, and next week we will start with number 5 with you, Johnny, on Monday, as what the fans say, and then we'll get to number 1, the most important player on the team, next Friday. And then, believe it or not, we wake up the following Monday, Johnny, and we're packing our bags for Mountain West Media Days in Las Vegas. So 5 through 1 next week, we'll finish up this series. It worked out nicely, timing up with Media Days and then the start of fall camp. We'll also make our first announcement about some coverage plans that we're excited about on Monday as well. So, Johnny, appreciate your time as always. Have a great weekend. We'll be listening to you and Prater and JP today, 3 to 6, Idaho Sports Talk. I will join you guys at 4 o'clock. Looking forward to that. And we will do this again Monday, Johnny, as we inch closer to Mountain West Media Days and the start of football season, man.
Thanks, BJ.
There he is, John Mallory, best in the business, Johnny Ballgame. Check him out on social media. And again, 3 to 6 today with Mike Prater on Idaho Sports Talk, 95.3 FM, 1350 AM. The Ticket, go download their app as well. I highly recommend that. So get your comments in. Let us know 5 through 1 what you want. Tweet at me, email me, put them in the chat here after the show, and I'll get to them. And we'll start with number 5 on Monday as we get the 5 most important players on the Boise State football team. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News Live, bronconationnews.com.